Hello friends, in the last part, rectilinear propagation of heat we have considered up to equation 7, that means we have obtained the general equation of heat flow when the heat is conducted from hot end to cold end. This is the situation we have considered. This is the uniform rectilinear bar and heat is provided to one end of the bar and it is conducted along the bar towards the another end. We have considered these two planes P1 and P2, and by considering these two planes we have obtained the equation of heat of conduction from one end to another end, which is controlled by this relation d2 theta by dx square equal to rho into s upon k into d theta by dt plus ep upon ka into theta, where all these quantities are having their usual meanings. Rho is the density of the bar, S is the thermal specific heat of the bar, K is the coefficient of thermal conductivity of bar, E is the absorptivity of the bar, P is the perimeter of the bar, K and A is the area of cross section of the bar. Okay, so this equation 7 indicates the general equation of rectilinear flow of heat along the bar having uniform cross section area. Now we have to consider the special cases. After the steady state is reached, what will happen? After the steady state is reached, the temperature of each part of the bar becomes constant, and this means that this rate of change of temperature with respect to time, that becomes equal to 0, or d theta by dt, that becomes equal to 0, and therefore in above equation this first term in equation 7, this first term becomes equal to 0, and the equation of rectilinear flow of heat becomes d2 theta by dx square equal to ep upon ka into theta, like this. D2 theta by dx square equal to ep upon ka into theta. Now this ep upon ka can be written as mu square by a certain constant mu square, because E is constant, P is also constant, K is also constant, A is also constant related with the bar or material of the bar. So it is, once we decide the material and once we decide the bar, then the value of Ep upon Ka is constant, which is denoted by mu square, and therefore equation can be written as this d2 theta by dx square equal to mu square theta. Instead of Ep upon Ka, we can write on mu square theta. Now this is the second order differential equation, and general solution to such a second order differential equation is given by theta equal to a e raised to mu x plus b e raised to minus mu x. To study the rectilinear propagation of heat along the bar means what? We have to calculate how much excess amount of heat is conducted from hot end of the bar at any position x from the bar, and therefore this theta, excess temperature at a distance x, is given by this relation. However, this a and b are the constants and those are to be determined, and those can be determined using the boundary conditions. Now the boundary conditions are different for different situations, and therefore again two special cases arises. If bar is of infinite length, that is the first case. In this case what will happen? At x equal to 0, first boundary condition, at x equal to 0 temperature is maximum, that is equal to theta 1. This maximum temperature is denoted by theta 1. Therefore equation 9 becomes theta equal to a e raised to mu x plus b e raised to minus mu x. This becomes theta 1. Theta is equal to theta 1 and x is equal to 0. Therefore, theta 1 equal to a e raised to mu into 0 plus b e raised to minus mu into 0. Now we know that this something into 0 is 0 and e raised to 0 is 1. Again here also e raised to 0 is 1 and therefore we get the relation theta 1 equal to a plus b. Okay. Next boundary condition is at x equal to infinity because we have considered the bar is of infinite length. The last end of the bar, up to the last end of the bar, heat cannot be conducted more and therefore its excess temperature is equal to 0. And therefore equation 9, this equation 9 now becomes theta is equal to 0 and a into e raised to mu into infinity plus b into e raised to minus mu into infinity. E raised to minus infinity this will become, and if we take into the denominator it will become b upon e raised to infinity. Something raised to infinity is infinity and b upon infinity, something divided by infinity is 0. Therefore the second term vanishes in the second boundary case and therefore we get this 0 equal to a e raised to infinity, and this proves that as something into this e raised to infinity is infinity, infinity into a is equal to 0, that means a must be equal to 0, and therefore this equation 10 now becomes, here a is equal to 0, therefore b is equal to theta 1, or you may get this theta is equal to theta 1 e raised to minus mu x, and this is the equation now governing the heat flow along the bar, or we can calculate the excess temperature conducted from the hot end to at a distance x of the bar under steady state condition provided that the bar is of infinite length. Now if bar is of finite length, then suppose L is the length of the bar. In this case the boundary conditions are these one: at x equal to 0 theta is equal to theta 1, and second boundary condition is at x equal to L d theta by dx is equal to 0. If we put these boundary conditions as above and solve the equation, then we get the values of a and b as a equal to theta 1 upon 1 plus e raised to 2 mu L and b equal to theta 1 upon 1 plus e raised to minus 2 mu L, and hence the general solution theta is equal to a into e raised to mu x plus b into e raised to minus mu x. That equation now modifies to, by putting the values of a and b, we get theta is equal to theta 1 into e raised to mu x upon 1 plus e raised to 2 mu L plus e raised to minus mu x upon 1 plus e raised to minus 2 mu L. Okay, and this is the equation which is indicating the heat conducted along the bar, rectilinear bar at a distance x, okay, under steady state. So we have considered the heat conduction or rectilinear propagation of heat along a rectangular bar.